The highly anticipated battle between Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez is finally over, and here are the pros' reactions.
What do you think about Devin's performance?
It was okay, you know. I said to him, I think you really needed to hold your feet a little bit more. Like, he actually buzzed Ramirez a few times. And, you know, but I think there was a lot of nerves, and I think he's been out for a year. Ryan's been out for a year as well. Inactivity kills, you know, and we saw that tonight.
I mean,
overall, his performance, him and Devin.
you know, no, honestly, we can't. You know, that was Devin's game plan. You know,
That's how you got.
I don't want to say he's. You know, he was boxing because I call that running, but that was his plan, and he got the decision. What can we say? You know.
I know you didn't see Ryan's fight, but you know he obviously lost.
Yeah.
Devin won. Like, is there? You think there's still interest to see
No,
that?
look.
So there's interest more to see that fight with
Anthony
Haney
Joshua lost his last fight, and so did Fury, and if they fight each other, it's gonna be huge. So Haney versus Garcia is still gonna be a big fight. I think they should still do it. Still big.
I know you in Devin's corner. I'm backing him in that fight. He got the W. What did you think about his performance?
I thought he did a great job of notifying, like doing what I think him and his father want to do is just get the W and go on to the next fight. I thought there was some things that he probably did, but he did a great job. He did a spectacular job. A Sugar and Leonard type of job. I mean, I thought that, like I said, they could be some combinations here and there, but Jose Ramirez is, I guess, a tough fighter and dangerous. So at any time, so you got to be careful. And it's been a year off, so.
What are your thoughts on Devin Haney? How do you think he looked out there, man?
I think he looked sharp. I think for what I was kind of like expecting out of him, he gave me what I expected. It was a sharp performance, and he won the fight.
Throughout the entire fight week, Devin was saying, "Look, I'm gonna look the best. This is gonna be the best version of Devin Haney." Did you see that, or did you see something where it's just like he looks good, but he got to work on a few things?
I mean, it don't really matter, bro. At the end of the day, he fighting Ryan Garcia for the rematch. As long as Ryan Garcia get the win, so it doesn't really matter whether the fans accepted his win or not. He's gonna fight Ryan Garcia next, and everybody's gonna watch. I got it.
It'll be back. It has to happen. Devin right out there. Gunshot. Literally, he was running. He was scared to me. He was scared of getting hit. I mean, he knows he has no chin, so. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Before the fight, the boxing pros had a very different opinion on the matchup. Teddy Atlas, who is a renowned and well-respected figure in the boxing world, had expressed admiration for watching Jose Ramirez in action, but had ultimately leaned toward Devin Haney for the win. Teddy had noted that Haney's father had him well prepared for the challenge, which led him to predict a victory in Haney's favor.
Ramirez, a little shot one, great heart. Great former champ. I love his style. I love what he brings. How much did it take out of him physically? At the end of the day, I'm going to say that his father, I like his father. I'm going to say that his father has him ready. I give him credit. They took enough time off.
Yeah.
And they needed that. They needed that. Sometimes guys come back from that kind of fight too early.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Ryan. I'm gonna go with Haney.
In addition, former WBA and WBC title holder Regis Pro Grimes had made his prediction by pointing out that Jose Ramirez often struggled against slick boxers. At the same time, he had acknowledged that the outcome hinged on how much Ramirez had left in the tank. While Regis had expected an intriguing and competitive fight, he had ultimately sided with Devin Haney to emerge victorious.
Devin just gonna box him, because Ramirez has he has troubles with boxers. But at the same time, man, like it depends like how much Ramirez has left in the tank. So I would say Devin, but I think it's still an interesting fight. I would be interested to see what's gonna happen. And my prediction is that Devin gonna box him, you know, because Ramirez has troubles with boxers. But at the same time, man, like it depends like how much Ramirez has left in the tank. So I would say Devin, but I think it's still an interesting fight. I would be interested to see what's gonna happen.
Moreover, Mikey Garcia had expressed admiration for Jose Ramirez, remarking that it felt as though Ramirez had turned back the clock with his form. He had emphasized Ramirez's power, believing he possessed the ability to hurt and possibly drop Haney. While Mikey had expected Haney to rely on his boxing skills and anticipated the fight going the full 12 rounds, he had ultimately predicted a victory for Ramirez.
I've seen him. I love the footwork. I love the agility, the speed. It's almost like he turned the clock back a bit. I think he's got the power to actually drop him and hurt him. But I also think Haney is, you know, a boxer, good enough boxer, very well-rounded, that he's going to try to box. I think his game plan is going to be to box. So I could see the fight going 12 rounds, but Jose beating him enough, you know, and dropping him maybe once in the fight and winning a decision.
However, Robert Garcia had emphasized the importance of Jose Ramirez entering the fight with a killer mentality. While he had expressed respect for the Haneys, he had ultimately predicted a victory for Ramirez, believing that Jose possessed the tools and mindset needed to overcome any opponent, even if they are as skilled as Devin Haney.
Jose needs to have, you know, killer mentality. Killer, because in the ring, yeah, you have to try to kill people. That's what boxing is. Your opponent's trying to kill you. We'll see, you know, when the bell rings, it's them two in the ring, and you know, and we're gonna do our best to pull it off, and he's gonna do the same with his dad, you know. So nothing against him. I like the Haneys.
What's your prediction?
I think Jose has the tools to stop him.
Before the fight, Gabe Rosado had viewed Devin Haney as the superior fighter on paper, but questioned the decision to face Jose Ramirez in a comeback fight. He had expressed concerns that Ramirez, being both powerful and physically strong, posed a serious threat, especially with Haney coming off a devastating knockdown in his bout against Ryan Garcia.
No, like I said, man, I think Haney's the better fighter on paper, but I feel like Ramirez is the wrong choice to come back. I feel like Ramirez is powerful, he's strong, and I think that, you know, coming off of that Barbosa fight, he didn't look horrible, and he didn't get beat bad. And I feel like that was the perfect style for him to, like, reassess what he did wrong and then make the adjustments going into the fight with Haney. So I think he can make adjustments, and then we got to see where his mind is at, if it's going, like, you know, if his confidence is even there, you know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to look good and be, you know, physically and be ripped and all that, but where's your mind at?
During the build-up to the fight, Showbiz the Adult had anticipated that Jose Ramirez would repeatedly unleash his dangerous left hook throughout the fight, warning that Devin Haney needed to stay defensively sharp while working behind his jab. He had pointed out that Haney often got caught clean and with relative ease. That's why he has to keep his chin protected to avoid serious trouble.
Haney, on the other hand, gets with that shit. You saw him by Linares, you saw him caught by Ryan Garcia, most noticeably. He gets all right? So please, bro. And I don't know if Ryan Garcia has wrecked Devin Haney's chin even more. We'll see against Jose Ramirez. To see him still doing that, bro, please, because everyone knows you do it. It is no secret. Jose Ramirez is going to spam his left hook, which he has a fantastic one. All right? So, you know, if he can, but, you know, old habits die hard.
However, Oscar De La Hoya had predicted that Jose Ramirez would put on a dominant performance against Devin Haney, going as far as to say that Ramirez would stop the fight before it reached the final bell. He had believed that Ramirez would shut down any hopes for a Ryan Garcia versus Haney rematch by ending the bout decisively.
Ramirez will stop the show. I believe Ramirez will do a number on Devin Haney.
In addition, Jeff Mayweather, who had happened to train Devin Haney during his early years, had recalled telling Bill Haney that Devin was destined to become a world champion. While he had expected Devin to stay focused and work hard, especially with a potential rematch against Ryan Garcia in mind, Mayweather had also acknowledged the threat posed by Jose Ramirez. He had noted that if Devin approached the fight with full focus and determination, he might just pull off the win.
I actually trained Devin a long time ago. very talented young kid. And it's kind of funny because I always told his dad, I said, his son's going to be world champion one day. And he fulfilled that prophecy. I think Devin's going to be working really hard. He wants to rematch with Ryan Garcia as well. So hopefully he's focusing on the guy that he's fighting and not looking past that to fight Ryan Garcia. So if he's focused the way he should be focused, I think Devin should win.
Moreover, Devin Haney had admitted that it felt as though he hadn't secured a victory in quite some time, framing the upcoming fight as a crucial opportunity to stage a comeback. He had viewed it as a chance to reestablish himself and return to the win column with authority.
Seemed like I haven't had a victory in a little while now. You know, it's as long as I ever went without a W, so I'm just looking to go in there and win.
Before the fight, Jose Ramirez had stated that he was preparing to face the best possible version of Devin Haney in the ring. He had emphasized that every fight is different, noting that a fighter might shine against one opponent but struggle against another. Ramirez had cautioned against the common mistake of judging future outcomes solely based on past performances.
To be fair, like I said, I'm expecting the best Devin Haney. You know, a fighter looks this way against a fighter and he might look this way against another fighter. You know, so I can't go based on his performances. And I think that's a mistake people do sometimes. You know, they go based on your last performances. But in boxing, it's like, you know, it's like they hate you one day and they love you the next day. You know, they think that you're done one fight and then all of a sudden they think that, oh man, you know, there's that reborn. You know, then all those fans come out saying, man, I think he's the best in the division.
Moreover, Eddie Hearn had remarked that it's never certain how a fighter will look in their return, admitting he wasn't sure how Devin Haney would rebound. However, he had cautioned against doubting Haney's abilities. Hearn had also viewed the matchup as a favorable one for Haney, pointing out that Jose Ramirez isn't known as a savage or heavy puncher, which could work in Devin's favor.
You never know how a fighter's going to come back. You don't know how Devin's going to come back against Jose Ramirez. I mean, like, that's a good, very good bit of matchmaking, because Ramirez he's a good fighter, but he's not a savage, he's not a big puncher. And I don't know, you need to have a certain type of mentality to go back into that rematch with Ryan Garcia and win. Devin's a winner, right? So, you know, but physically and mentally, what happened to him that night, he may be fine.
Before the fight, Arnold Barboza had placed his confidence in Jose Ramirez, stating he was backing him to win. He had pointed out that Ramirez would be far less drained at the weight, while questions remained about how Haney would look upon his return. Barboza had considered the matchup an ideal opportunity for Ramirez and had openly rooted for him, even expressing a desire to assist Ramirez during his training camp.
Well, bro, I'm putting my money on Ramirez. I'm telling you right now, like I think it's gonna be at a catch weight of like 44, so he's gonna be strong. He's gonna be less drained with the weight. And who knows how Haney is, man, after that Ryan beating, bro? Because he took a beating, bro. That shit was no joke. Like, you know, like he did get his jaw cracked open, bro. So like once your jaw's cracked open like that, who knows how he recovered, man? So like I think this is a perfect fight for Ramirez, man. A perfect fight, man. Like I got him winning, bro. Like I really do. You know, I really got him winning, man, and I'm rooting for him. You know, like I even told him I was gonna help him in camp. I was gonna spar him a few times, man, to help him out.
Before the fight, Coach Bredman had predicted that Devin Haney would be capable of knocking Jose Ramirez out, but stressed that Haney would need to deliver a strong performance to do so.
And Devin's supposed to fight Jose Ramirez. You think Jose Ramirez not gonna throw a bunch of big left hooks? I think Devin should light him up, to be honest with you. But he still has to do it. He still has to get in the ring and perform and do it.
Moreover, he had described Ramirez as being on a noticeable decline, acknowledging that while Jose was once a solid fighter, his form had dipped. Bredman had pointed to the Arnold Barboza fight as evidence, stating that Barboza had made Ramirez look subpar in that bout.
Listen, I don't think that Ramirez is as tough as Pitbull. I think Ramirez is on a big downslide.
Yeah, he is.
I think Ramirez is on a big downslide. I don't know what happened to him, man, but a few years ago he was really good, but he's on a big downslide. The guy I think is Arnold Barbosa. He made him look horrible.
Roy Jones Jr. had acknowledged that Devin Haney wasn't stepping into the ring with an easy opponent and believed that alone spoke volumes about Haney's mindset. He had stated that Haney needed a challenge like this, especially given how much ground he had to make up for after recent criticisms.
To me, it's not really an easy fight at all, but it says a lot about Devin. It shows you that, I mean, to be honest, he got to have something like this because he has a lot of ground to make up for because of all the complaining and all that. People don't want to see you in an easy fight now. You just got through trying to sue him for some crazy. And so,
according to Jones, Haney's past complaints had led many to want to see him tested, and now he had a point to prove. He had emphasized that Haney needed to show he was serious about the sport if he hoped to be taken seriously in any future rematch with Ryan Garcia.
Now you got a point to prove. So show us you can beat somebody for real, show us that you're serious about this, and we may take you serious on the rematch. But if you don't show us that you're serious, if you don't fight a serious opponent who's a real threat to you, then we not gonna believe you because you didn't stop and let it go at them taking it off your record. You kept going further, and that's not, you the first to ever really do that.
How did you see the fight, and what were your predictions? Who was your favorite fighter? We would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed the reactions, like, share. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on all things boxing. We will see you in the next exciting video with more updates.